Okay, so as this planning promotional methods page is quite long and it's not very clear of the exact things which I'm going to be using, so I just wanted to use the screencast to basically sum up which ones I think would be the best to use in my magazine. So, starting off with the traditional methods, I think that out of these three, especially, that the cup advert would be the best. This is just because I can see my audience being at a coffee morning or getting coffee to go and read it somewhere. So I think that this would be a great idea, so then they can see on the cup, oh look, such and such magazine is on here. That would be quite nice to read. I don't think that these two would be as suitable, just because it's like most fashion and film, more film magazines actually, but most fashion you don't see on a big billboard, or if you do see a fashion magazine being shown on these methods, it's not very frequent that you see this. Anyway, moving on. Out of these three, I'm not sure any of them are really suitable for what I would use. Out of those three, it'd most likely be the newspaper, but even so, none of them are really what I'm looking for. This one, I think definitely verbal communication, because it links back to my whole coffee morning, just chatting sort of idea, or at a meeting, or on the tube. I think that this would be quite a nice one. Or even television, just as an advert. Although it's getting less and less common, people still watch the TV, the normal TV, not the Netflix, not the iPlayer, not the ITV, none of that, just watching old-fashioned TV. So I think that'd be not the best path to go along, but it's still a nice one. Now to the new technological methods. I think that out of these three, it's quite even. I'd want to have, I think YouTube and Facebook, I'd want the same sort of advert on it. So maybe a little pop-up banner which comes up at the bottom of your screen, or some little notification down the side, something not over the top, but just there, omnipresent. I like this host an event one. That really jumped out at me, because I think that it's important that as you're growing up, you get to see different styles, and I just think it's a nice communal way to get everyone together. Out of these three, again, I think for Instagram I'd use the same for YouTube and Facebook. The email marketing. Normally, you have to just subscribe, which means that they've either bought something from there or they're interested in it. I'm not so keen on this one, just because I don't feel as though this is what my area really does. Yeah, I'm not so keen on that one. Website, obviously have a website. I think that this would be a nice one, so I can link together. So if someone clicks on an issue, what they'll be able to see is, as long as they show that they bought it or type in it, I'm not sure how the details are going to work out, but it will allow them to have an online copy as well as a hard copy. So they'll be able to flick through all the pages, and then if they do see something which they like, say for example this t-shirt here, they can click on it, and it will take them to the part of my website which is talking about that specific item. I think that this would be really clever, and I know that there's a few times when I've seen something and been like, oh, where's that from? What is that? And you don't know because They don't tell you sometimes, which is very annoying. And finally, out of these four, this one. Completely this one. This one jumped out to me straight away. It was by far my favourite one. I just loved it. These, you might get away with having your logo, but I don't think it's the right thing to have. This is quite a cute one. Maybe you could have that if you were holding an event, which could link to my other idea. But I wouldn't just go off of that because it's not as strong as some of the other promotional methods. So, just as a quick summary for the whole of this screencast, I like this one, to get an influencer to talk about your magazine, the website, host an event, verbal communication, none of them, and the cup adverts. I think that all these link together, but I really like them.